Hi there, students. A Sloane or a Sloane Ranger. Okay, a Sloane Ranger is the stereotype of an upper middle class or upper class person in London. Now, the idea of Sloane Rangers was at its height probably in the early 80s, the late 70s. Okay, so a Sloane Ranger, this is somebody who is upper class and speaks with a very nice accent. Sloane Rangers are particularly women. And what do Sloane Rangers wear? Well, they wear green Wellington boots, for example, and they wear clothes, expensive informal country clothes, particularly a Burberry jacket or things like that. So a Sloane Ranger. These people, they have lots and lots of money. They're upper middle class or upper class. They have a home in London and they have a home in the country as well. In the 80s, they used to typically drive a Renault Espace to put the kids in the back. Notice the phrase a Sloane Ranger could be of any age. But let's see, you know this image wearing a green Burberry jacket and green Wellington boots and maybe marching around at a polo match or something like that. And that is your Sloane Ranger. They have a very upper class voice. So our Henry could be a Sloane Ranger. Now, one of the things to notice, the Sloane Rangers are women because a man is called a Hooray Henry or a Rah. Yeah, and that's why Henry is called Henry, because Henry is a Hooray Henry. Okay, so a Sloane Ranger. Let's see, this is the origin of this phrase. It's a reference to Sloane Square in London. Sloane Square is the very beginning of the King's Road. It's a very, very posh area. And Ranger as in the Lone Ranger, and therefore we get the Sloane Ranger. So, let's see. Important Sloane Rangers. Lady Diana was clearly a Sloane Ranger. Sarah Ferguson, the Duchess of York, clearly another Sloane Ranger. Okay, so these ladies were debutantes, but a Sloane Ranger, upper class woman having a home in London and another home in the country and wearing expensive informal country clothes, and that's the idea. And they've got the same accent as Henry, as who our dear Henry, yes, who you probably heard him talk on other days. So a Sloane Ranger, particularly they particularly live in Chelsea, around Sloane Square, in that sort of area. So a Sloane Ranger. Have you ever met a Sloane Ranger? You'll find Sloane Rangers you used to find, I think that's probably the point. You used to find, I think the Sloane Ranger is probably disappearing. It's been argued that the population of Sloane Rangers has been decreasing. And that's probably because the Sloanes are leading the British trend to downward social mobility. Because you need lots of money to be a Sloane Ranger. Yeah? Okay, so Sloane Ranger, a Sloane, or a Sloane Ranger. So let's see, formality. I think I'm going to give it a 4 in formality. Use it informally, use in a semi-formal conversation, a semi-formal or not, but semi-formal writing, but not something very formal. Okay, so these are rich bourgeois people. They were when they were young, they were debutantes. They're probably young fogies or things like that. So a Sloane Ranger. Enough. If you enjoyed the video, give it a rating, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you soon. Bye for now. A Sloane Ranger.